my career, I jumped straight into execution. I had the team, I had the timeline, I had the energy. What I didn't have was clarity. No one had written down what we were actually building, who owned what, or what could go wrong. 2 weeks in the project was already derailed. Not because of bad work, because of bad setup. So in this video, I am going to show you the 4 documents that will fix that. And I am going to build it all of them live using ChatGPT. You will get the exact prompts I use. Hi everyone, welcome back to PM Insights with Aditi. Quick context if you were new here. We have been building out a full pre-execution framework for the PMs. And in the last video, I have covered the RACI Matrix, 5W1H framework and how to select your tech stack using the decision matrix with AI. Today, we are continuing with the same food delivery example that I have given or taken in the video for 5W1H. Some projects needs layer. And if you haven't watched those yet, links are in the description. But you don't need them to follow along today. Before I show you the templates, let me tell you why these 4 specially I have selected. There are a lot of PM documents out there. But in my experience, these are the ones that prevent the most common project failures. Missed scope, stakeholder conflicts, unmanaged risk, and unclear ownership. And one of them, the RACI, we already covered in a full detail video in this series. So today I'll go a quick AI prompt for it and move on. The other 3 we are building from scratch. Let me quickly tell you what are those templates that we will be building from scratch today. That is project charter that will resolve the scope confusion, misaligned goals, stakeholder register, surprises from people with power, risk register, getting blindsides mid-execution, and RACI Matrix, which I think I mentioned. I have already covered the full video. But I will go through it very quickly in this video as a recap. Let's begin with the project charter. Project charter is the single most important document in pre-execution of a project. It answers one question: why does this project exist? For our food delivery app, imagine you are the PM of a mid-sized company. Leadership had said, build us an app that connects the local restaurants to the customer. That's it. No more detail. Without a charter, your team will spend weeks building on assumption. With the charter, everyone, developers, engineers, leaderships, legal, is working on the same page. Let me show you how I would get the ChatGPT to draft the first version, so it will at least give me a point from where I can build ahead.
Now here I will be pasting the prompt that I have already been prepared with about creating the project charter that is based on the food delivery app which we have discussed so far. See, the ChatGPT is already working on the first draft that you would need. It will give you the entire details that are needed as a first draft version. The business goals, the product goal, customer goal, the scope for MVP that can help you to discuss the same thing as an MVP for the product with the stakeholder. but make sure ChatGPT is only giving you the first draft version. Decision will be yours. It has given me entire details with all the milestones, the targets, success criteria, and the risk and mitigations that I have to take care of. And here it is giving me the charter approval which is pending. This is one of the most important part, and you have to update it according to the actual details which you only have, that you are not going to keep in the prompt. So this is just a version, and make sure once this is done, you take an approval on this charter approval on and update all the status correctly.
Remember that AI will give you the structure. You bring the context. That's the combination that will work for you as a modern PMs. Let's talk about the second template. Most project problems are not technicals. They are people problem. And the stakeholder register is how you get ahead of them. For the food delivery app, your stakeholders aren't just your internal team. Think about restaurants, owners, payment gateway partners, city operation team, customer support. They all will have opinions, and some of them have a power to kill your project. The register helps you to understand who has the power, who has interest, and how to communicate with each of them. Let's build it.
Here, for the stakeholder register, I am using the same chat where I am adding some of the informations which I have discussed in the previous video. For example, launching on iOS platform, which is going to be the application that will be taking place in Mumbai. Users are urbans and millennials, that is the age between the 18 to 35. And also some of the key definitions that I have identified all the stakeholders. For example, it will provide me the roles, names, type, influence, interest, they are likely concern, and communication approach for each of them. I have mentioned that I want this into a table format. As you can see in the result, it is giving me the entire detail in a table format. Now, once again, you have to update this file as per the actual roles and the details that you have and you know.
The stakeholders who are quiet at the start are often the loudest at the end. This register forces you to think about them early. Let's look into the third template. The risk register is the document most of the PM creates and then never looked at again. That's wrong way to use it. A good risk register is a live document. You update it every sprint, every week, because this risk changes as the project evolves. For the food delivery app, the risk in week 1 looks very different from the risk in the month 4 when you are about to go live. Let's start with the pre-execution version of this risk register.
Again, in the same chat, I have written the prompt which I have entered, and it started generating the risk register. What I gave in the prompt is that I am the PM for food delivery iOS application, and the details that I have discussed with the stakeholders. For example, like 8 weeks, and we want to launch in week 14. The application is first going to be launched in Mumbai, Delhi, and Scrum with 2 weeks of sprint phase. This I have requested to generate 10 pre-execution risks which will be important before we start the project. and here it gave me the same detail in a table format with the priorities and the impact and the risk score along with the mitigation strategy that I should follow. But again, you might be thinking why I am repeating myself every time and emphasizing on this point that you as a PM needs to make a decision and go through these all details from your end rather than blindly trusting the AI generated result, because AI is just giving you the first version over here. You have to verify. If you want to update it again add the details and update it using AI if you don't want to go manual, but the governance is important.
Now, the fourth one, the RACI Matrix. We covered this in a full detailed video in one of the this series. So I am not going to rebuild it from scratch. What I will show you is the AI prompt to generate your first draft. Because if you are starting a new project, this is how you kick it off.
Here, quickly I am just giving you the prompt for RACI Matrix generation, which I used for the food delivery application, and as you can see in the result, it already generated the RACI matrix as per the pre-execution phase with all the roles and the accountability defined here clearly. Again, you have to make sure that you update this as per the roles and the responsibilities and the KPIs that you have in your current organization. Based on that, make it. This is just a template that at first level as a first draft the AI or ChatGPT will give you.
If you want the full breakdown of how to read and use RACI, why it prevents that I thought you were doing it problem, watch the full video, which link is given below. So there you have it, 4 templates, 4 ChatGPT prompts and a complete pre-execution foundation for your project. Let me quickly recap and revise it. Project charters, your project's source of truth. Stakeholder register, know who has the power before they use it against you. Risk register, a live document, not a one-time exercise. RACI Matrix, clear ownerships from day one. Now, in the next video, we move into the execution. And this is where the things will get interesting. Because all 4 of these documents will be getting used the moment you start your actual project. I will show you how AI can help you to manage execution in real time, status update, scope creep, and the daily execution PM's decisions that PMs make on the fly. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now so you don't miss the one. Drop a comment below. Which of these 4 templates do you think PM skips the most? I have a strong opinion and I want to see if you agree.